Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is hole number 9 of the Big Catch Tournament Expert Division opening round. For our tee shot, we want to use an APOC level 4 and above, and either a Kingmaker or Kingslayer ball. We're going to apply 5.8 topspin with 3 left spin. With an APOC 5 and above, we're going to set up at the top of the plus 0 yard position. With an APOC level 4, you'll be top of the plus 6 yard position. And with our APOC level 8, we've got half the red ring overlapping the rough. Keep in mind that with different levels of APOC, which have different levels of accuracy, your ring placement will change. Our adjustment is going to be P3 max plus 10% elevation. And then we're going to apply 1.5 ball of left curl. We hit perfect. Ball is going to land in the first fairway, bounce over the rough and bunker to the next fairway. And we're looking for this little rollout, as you can see. And we're going to end up with a drive distance of 360 yards. If you don't get that kind of speed rollout, and your drive ends up short, you can find yourself in between clubs on the approach. We'll talk about how to, I guess, battle against that or how to possibly avoid that. But you also need to take note of your drive distance. We're going to use this for our slider percentage on the approach. All right, so for our approach shot, we want to use a Grizzly level 7 and above. We're going to apply 3 topspin with 3 right spin. And then position ourselves in the rough with the ball guide 3 squares past the hole. So looking at the tip of the ball guide to be 3 squares through the hole. From here, referencing our drive distance of 360 yards, we're going to play the approach at P3 plus 20% elevation at 70% slider. And that's using Grizzly 9 numbers. Then we're going to center the ball and hit perfect. Ball is going to land in the rough, bounce out onto the fairway, roll onto the green, and we're going to drop center cup for the albatross. All right, so real quick, let's go back and look at the approach. So you can see I drove at 360. I've got a Grizzly 9. My adjustment, obviously, I have a pretty high wind. If you use a lower wind or a better wind resistant ball, you're not going to adjust as much. But I adjust to the plus 2 yard position. So if you're using a Grizzly 7 and 8, you're going to go to the plus 5 yard position, which only leaves you an extra 4 yards. So at a minimum, when I was talking about your drive distance, you're going to want at least 356 yard drive. And depending on your wind angle for the approach, even that could be dicey with a Grizzly 7 and 8. So if you don't drive it, I would say at least 356 yards, and you're using a Grizzly 7 or 8, you're possibly going to find yourself in between clubs / pulling into overpower. So just keep that in mind. After you hit your drive, if it's short, you may need to just bounce one off the fairway to the right of our landing position and just get it up, near or on the green, and get your eagle and go. I don't want you to get caught off guard being in between clubs if you don't drive it far enough. Another way to possibly counteract this is if you use a B52, which has obviously more power. We'll specifically compare the B52 7 and 8 since they have an extended ball guide as well. But they have 135 yards of power, so 6 extra yards compared to a Grizzly 9, 9 extra yards compared to a Grizzly 7 and 8. So you definitely should not be in between clubs, even with a short drive. But one thing to keep in mind if you do use a B52 7 or 8 is it's got 4.5 ball guide instead of 4.4. So you're probably going to need to be a little bit more than 3 squares through the hole. Just a small little detail to just be aware of. I think that covers everything. For further instructions on how to play this hole, make sure you guys click the link below and subscribe to Expert Tournament Guides through Golf Clash Tommy. Good luck in your opening rounds.